Hey man, what are you working on?
Oh, hey. I'm designing a new model for Warhammer.
Oh yeah? What's that look like?
Well, it's got a giant Warhammer, a fur cloak, and a two-headed pet eagle.
I'm impressed. That actually sounds pretty cool.
And I'll finish it off with some granny panties.
And there it is. Why do you have to ruin everything?
It's a gift.
Okay, so before we get into this, I have a confession that I have to make. I started loving Warhammer a long time ago, back when I was 9 years old. Okay, and I walked into the card shop and I saw Warhammer, I saw Painted Army, I saw it and I thought, that's got to be the coolest thing there is. Okay, and obviously at that time, didn't have a lot of money to throw around, so I spent it on Magic cards because everyone I knew was playing Magic, and Warhammer kind of fell away. But the one thing that has always stuck with me is how cool the models were and how much I wanted to have a Painted Army on my shelf. I just thought, man, that's so cool. And honestly, I really thought that I need to play this game. I need to get an army ready. I need to play it. The more I learn about it, the more my desire to play it has decreased. I want to play it. I want to get into it a little bit. But what I really want is to paint the models. And doing a little bit of research, from what I'm seeing, only about 20% of the people who buy Warhammer models play with them. It's kind of a weird reason to buy a toy, right? But that's why I think for most of us, it's not a toy. It's an art piece. It's this incredible thing that we get to make our own and show off, even if it is just on a shelf in our office at home. So then the big question becomes, who has the best models to paint? You know, if 80% of us are just buying the models to paint to have to show off, who's got the best ones? For the longest time, it's been Games Workshop. You know, yes, they have some older models that are just horrible, right? But it's one of those things that you look back on with like a sense of nostalgia and like, yeah, it was bad, but at the time, a lot of stuff was bad, and they were doing, you know, what they thought was right, and they're kind of cool now that you look back on them. So, are all the models that they're coming out with right now good? I'm kind of leaning towards no. But let's talk about it a little bit. When I started thinking about making this video and putting it together, I started thinking about the last year. You know, I was trying to come up with the models that I remembered the most this last year. And the sad thing is yes, there was a couple good ones that I remember, but the most things that I remember is stuff like this. I love the Adeptus Mechanicus, but this thing is just not liked by most people. And yeah, sure, it fits their aesthetic, right? No, this fits their aesthetic. This is what that model could have been. If you read the books, the Adeptus Mechanicus are flippin' all business. They are amazing and they are machines of death. The Stiltwalker looks like a machine of goofy. I mean, why does it need a 9-foot muffler that dangles between the legs? Like, seriously, why? That doesn't fit anything. That's some lost technology? I doubt it. Right? And so my question is just why? And it's not the only one. We have the t-shirt cannons, which, hey, they're huge. The gun's as big as they are, but they're toting it around like it weighs 2 pounds. I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well go this far. And then, you know, the most recent one is Inquisitor Cotiez, I think is how you say it, which is what this video started with. And overall, it's not a terrible model, right? It's not awful. With a couple little tweaks, it could have been great. And that's the thing that kills me is, here's some artwork that I found for him. He's an amazing character. His old model is great. Sure, they wanted to separate the eagle and make it a separate token. They could have done that. You know, I'm fine with the way that it was. Instead of remaking old models, why not come out with new ones? But that's for another time, I guess. But honestly, all that I can think of every single time I see this model is this.
Thank you.
I actually really like that movie, but that's all I can think of. And I like, you know, that can't be comfortable. It can't be a nice way to walk around, you know, but to each their own. So, what makes a model good? Everyone has their sweet spot. Everyone has the way that the model should look. You know, some people love heroic scale. Some people love the hyper detail that people are putting out now, and some people hate it. I mean, it's going to be different for everyone. So, I mean, is it even possible to say what a good model is? I mean, honestly, the problem that Games Workshop is having seems almost more like they're spreading themselves too thin. Which, I mean, when you've got like 20 different games that you're trying to put stuff out for all the time, maybe that's the case. But if that's the case, why bring back stuff that you're not going to give the right amount of time for? I hate to say it, but it's just another money grab. I mean, Old World, in the last 20 years of its life, only received a few new characters and mostly just rule refreshes and remakes of old models. I mean, they were literally just trying to get money from it. And then it went away. And guess what? Now they're bringing it back and they're using some of the old models all over again. So, is Games Workshop still the best model maker out there? Depends on what you look at. If you look at this new Inquisitor model, no. If you look at the Old World models, no. But if you look at the new Scaventide box, I've heard nothing but praise. That these are great models, that these are models that are fun to paint again. So Games Workshop is totally capable of doing this, and they're totally capable of doing it right and doing it in a way that everybody likes. The problem is that they're all over the place, and granted, they're going to have different artists that do different things, but like, realistically, the thing that bugs me the most is that they could make a great game that's well balanced, that has new characters, that has everything that the community wants. But they can't do it for 7 different games at the same time. It's that simple. They can't. And maybe they're trying to show that they can, but it isn't working. And I think in the end, all it's doing is turning people away from things that they probably would have loved. From an army on their shelf that they would have wanted. With 3D printers now, most of the models that people want can be printed. I don't have to go out and drop $120 just to get an awesome model to paint for my shelf. I can find one online for free. You know, or pay $10 for a file. The painters, the 80%, the people that want to just buy these things and have them, you have to have good stuff to keep them around. And I don't know if GW is on the path to do that anymore. I mean, obviously they have the talent and the skill to do so. But I think it would require them to stop throwing everything they can into just making profits. And I know, they're publicly traded. That's all that they're going to care about. But publicly traded companies can have a soul too.
That's like, it's practically impossible.
So what do you think? Does Games Workshop still have the best models out there, or are they just slowly getting left behind? I mean, we didn't even talk about ease of assembly, you know, how easy it is to assemble a model, how easy it is to prepare it for painting and all of that. I mean, we didn't even bring that up because that's a whole different thing. We're just talking about artistic style. And I know, Grimdark, that's kind of their thing. They've got that down probably better than anyone in the business. But it's only a matter of time before somebody else, some other artist, finds a way to do it that's just as good, if not better. And with that being said, do you prefer models in resin, in plastic, or in metal. Because with Infinity pushing their metal models like crazy, Games Workshop moving mostly to plastic, and 3D printers printing everything in resin, that's what's out there. So does it make a difference to you which one you paint? I like painting them all. I think they're all great. I think you can get better detail with resin than you can with anything else. And so I think that's just kind of how it's going to be moving forward. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me know what you think. Let me know down in the comments. And, you know, if you like the content that we're putting out here at Pulsegate Games, drop us a like, subscribe, stick around. We paint miniatures like crazy. I promise one day I'll learn how to play most of the games that come with these miniatures. I am trying. And I hope that you're there for that journey when we get there and can help out. And I hope that we can help you out as well. Because that's what we're all about. So just remember, don't spend so much time making your world that you forget to spend some time in it. And make sure it's the world that you want to make. You know, you don't have to buy the models that are all around you just because it's all that's available. There's some really good stuff out there that you can 3D print that matches old styles, that matches heroic scale, that's easily accessible. So stick around. We'll help you find it. Until next time.